What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to yet another Thomas and Friends home media review. This review is on Day of the Diesels, the third CGI special for Thomas and Friends, and the fifth yearly special for Thomas and Friends. Don't count Magic Railroad, that was a theatrical film. And yes, I know there was 3 years between Calling All Engines and The Great Discovery, but come on. The yearly stuff pretty much started with Calling All Engines. So let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and jump right into the history section of Day of the Diesels. So here's something interesting I found out with the history of Day of the Diesels. Apparently, it aired on TV before coming out on any physical media. It aired on August 24th of 2011, and then it hit physical media on September 6th of 2011, meaning both DVD and Blu-ray. But that's not all. The Day of the Diesels could also be found in some boxed sets over here in the US and the UK. Here in the US, it could be found in the 3-movie pack, which included Day of the Diesels, obviously, but it also included Blue Mountain Mystery and Misty Island Rescue. And this 3-movie pack was released in October of 2013. So that means technically Day of the Diesels kind of got a reprint. I mean, not officially, they probably just reused the exact same disc with the exact same artwork, but you could purchase it again. And then in the UK, Day of the Diesels was available in the 10 DVD box set. It was also in a reprinted version of that from 2015. I think we've talked about that on the show previously. One of the previous season 14 releases was available in that 10 DVD box set. I can't remember which one though. It could also be found in the limited offer DVD box set and the Ultimate Movie DVD box set. So the UK really wanted you to buy Day of the Diesels since it was reprinted, I don't know, 4 times? So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into the close-up section of Day of the Diesels. Alrighty everyone, here's your close-up look at Day of the Diesels. Now, I forgot to mention this back with Misty Island Rescue's HMR. We're only going to be looking at the DVD version of Day of the Diesels since I don't own the Blu-ray version. Sad face. But yeah, just the DVD this time around, as with Blue Mountain Mystery and King of the Railway, and pretty much all of the other specials until we get to the Great Race. So anyway, we start off here on the top with Mavis, Den, Diesel 10, Salty, and Dart. It's actually, I really like this like running across the top of the poster. It's a really cool image, and along with Diesel 10's claw snapping right there. Thomas and Friends, Day of the Diesels, with Day being friggin' huge, and then of the Diesels is kinda, you know, just down there at the bottom. We also cannot forget to put the movie right there. And you've got Thomas sitting in front of the Diesel Works. I really like this poster art. It's eye-catching, and it really makes me want to watch the movie. On the side, we've got the Hit Entertainment logo, as always. Thomas and Friends, Day of the Diesels, the movie, can't forget that, with the portrait of Thomas, distributed by Lionsgate on the back. Rivalry on the rails in this exciting movie adventure. Come on, camera, focus a little bit. There we go, Thomas and Friends logo. Your blurb about the film. The newly remastered Diesel Works, which is kind of a spoiler. Meet Flynn, Belle, Den, and Dart, and there's Flynn right there, Dart, and Den. There's no Belle on here, so... Oh, wait, no, Belle's right there. But, like, she's not in this, like, promo image here, so... That's kind of weird, I guess. Bonus features, a Fiery Flynn to the Rescue game, Day of the Diesels karaoke music video, Hear the Engines Coming karaoke music video, Steamies and Diesels learn how they work, and then you've also got some screenshots from the film right next to the bonus features tab, and your tech specs and copyright information on the bottom. Open this up. I'm pretty sure this did come with inserts. It is a Thomas and Friends movie after all, but I bought mine off of eBay, so previous owner must have thrown them out. And here is your disc. It's not a squished up version of the entire poster art. It's pretty much just a squished up version of this on top, excluding Thomas. I almost dropped it there. Excluding Thomas on the bottom there. I'm not cutting that out. I'm leaving that in. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump right into the menu tour of Day of the Diesels. Alright everyone, here's your menu tour for Day of the Diesels. I'm not holding it up long because there's zero natural light outside and I only have a lamp on and it wouldn't even make that much better. So, that made no sense. Day of the Diesels. We actually have moving images for this menu. Wow, it's not just a card. And it's in widescreen. Wow, this is already a step up from the past menus of Misty Island Rescue and all the other crap we've been slugging through. This is great. We got play, scene selection, audio setup, and bonus features. Scene selection. We haven't seen this in a long time. And as a matter of fact, we haven't seen this in any Thomas movie since, like, I think it was Calling All Engines was the last Thomas movie that had a scene selection menu on it. So this is a landmark. You all probably don't care, but I care. Scene selection. They're just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. That was kind of lame, but, you know, whatever. Audio setup. What is this? English, Spanish, French. Oh, but English 5.1 surround sound. So if you have surround sound speakers, you can watch Day of the Diesels in surround sound. I bet you that sounds pretty damn good. Game, Fiery Flynn to the Rescue, karaoke songs, Day of the Diesels, and Hear the Engines Coming. Hear the Engines Coming was always really creepy to me. It's just how they like start off with the whispering, like, chicka chicka, what's up, shake shake, don't be late. I'm like, oh my god, it's like ASMR. It's just creepy to me. It's a good song, it's just creepy. Video, Steamies versus Diesels, learn how they work. This is just like a little learning segment about how Steamies and Diesels are similar but also different to each other. It's fine. You also get a sneak peek at the Hero of the Rails app. Now, I don't want to play Fiery Flynn to the Rescue because Fiery Flynn is a horrid character. So, that's pretty much going to do it for the menu tour. Yeah, pretty short, but I don't want to play the game, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to have a lot of in-depth opinions on this movie whenever we answer the 5 main questions. Speaking of that, let's go ahead and head on back and answer those 5 main questions, shall we? Alrighty, Roo, we're back from the close-up, and now it's time to answer the 5 main questions, as always. Number 1, where can you pick this product up? Is it really, I mean, you guys have had a full year of me answering this question pretty much the exact same way. I mean, say it loudly as I say it. Online retailers, eBay, I have never seen Day of the Diesels in any store. Number 2, is this product still being printed nowadays? No, it is not. Number 3, should you pick this product up? Day of the Diesels, to me, was always seen as an improvement. It was seen to me as signs of sort of improvement in the series, since Misty Island Rescue was such a flop in my eyes. I realized that my review for Misty Island Rescue wasn't as harsh as a lot of other people's are, but everything that's been said about Misty Island Rescue to this point has been said already, and I really wasn't offering anything new to the table, but I really do hate Misty Island Rescue. I mean, it is awful. So, Day of the Diesels, at least in my eyes, was a major improvement and a much better sequel to Misty Island Rescue. And I honestly can't comprehend why so many people think that Day of the Diesels is the worst Thomas special. It's not by any means. As a matter of fact, I'm actually going to take the time to defend Day of the Diesels here. Upon re-watching this, I realized just how maniacal, I guess you could say, and how good of a villain Diesel 10 actually is. Seeing how he's willing to do pretty much anything to accomplish his goal, to pretty much emotionally crush Percy to get to the Steamworks. Now granted, it's a stupid goal. You know, take over the Steamworks, you know, what's that gonna do? It's a stupid goal. But Diesel 10 is willing to do anything to do that. And like I said, including crushing poor Percy's fragile emotional state. I love Diesel 10 in this film. Now, like I said before, his goal is, it's not very smart. Okay, the plot is not very smart in this film. It's very simplistic. A lot of the dialogue between the characters is extremely clunky. It's the rhyming is so prevalent in this special, it actually makes me want to punch myself in the head at some points while watching it. But at the same time, though, I love seeing Diesel 10 on screen, again, since Calling All Engines, where his character was basically stomped on and ruined. This special
kind of fixed him in a way. It's one of the major things that Day of the Diesels got right. And that glorious shot with Thomas, James, Percy, Gordon, Edward, Henry, Toby, James, I think I said James beforehand, but I don't care. Toby and Emily rushing to the steam works together. It honestly gives me chills every time I see it. It's such a cool shot. Now, granted, if Diesel 10 had a more, smart plan and what he was actually doing was causing threat to the steam engines, that moment would actually be more emotionally impactful. But from what we got, it still gives me chills, that scene. Everything else in this movie, though, it feels very artificial. There's almost no soul to this movie. Again, the plot's very basic. The newbies of Bell and Flynn, I don't like either of them. Bell, I think, is better than Flynn, but honestly, it's really a toss-up between which of them I hate more. Honestly, it's probably Flynn I hate more, because Flynn is such a stupid character design. And at least they try to give Belle some sort of character to her, but I don't know. I didn't care for either of them. And the fact that Thomas just completely forgets Percy out of nowhere to hang out with Belle, it's kind of odd. I don't know. I think my major thoughts on this movie is it's an improvement over Misty Island Rescue, but it's not great. It's not even really that good. Matter of fact, I would actually kind of call this one mediocre. I know I've used that word with a lot of past releases, but this movie just feels mediocre. So would I recommend Day of the Diesels to anyone? I just said so much that was wrong with this movie, but honestly, I'm entertained by it. Yes, I noticed the horrible things in it, and I notice the clunky dialogue, the really bad story, but there's just something about it that holds my interest and entertains me. I don't know what it is. I would honestly say that Day of the Diesels to me is a guilty pleasure. So yeah, I think I'm going to give this one a green arrow. Recommended. I also find it cool how in the bonus features, they put in this little featurette on steamies and diesels. Learn how they work. It's actually an interesting featurette, and it actually provides some cool features for kids to learn the differences between diesels and steam engines. But as usual, the bonus features section is pretty lackluster. There's no behind-the-scenes stuff on these. I want to see how these specials are made, people. Come on, give us some behind-the-scenes stuff. Number 4, where should you pick this product up? Same answers as number 1. And number 5, what price should you pay? Well, for the DVD, probably say upwards of around 5 to 10 for that. Stay in that price range. For the Blu-ray, however, which I don't own, but I probably will one day, probably 10 to 15. That's really the range you should be looking in. Nothing over 15, I would say, is worth it. So that is the HMR for Day of the Diesels. When I was recording the recommend section, I teetered and tottered with the fact of whether or not I was going to give this a green or a red arrow. But like I said, it's a guilty pleasure, and I honestly find some sort of entertainment value in it when I watch it. I can't explain what I'm entertained by. I just really like watching it for some reason. I don't watch it periodically, but every now and then, like once every couple of months, I'll enjoy it. If you forced me to watch this every day, though, I probably would have given this a red arrow if you did that. So anyway, I'm just going to give you all a quick recap on the rest of 2017. It's now the first week in December. Christmas time is in full effect. I know I'm usually a grouch throughout November because everyone's already got their Christmas decorations up, and I'm like, yeah, it's not Christmas time, it's not December. But now, Christmas time is in full effect, and I'm in the Christmas spirit. So, I explained what's going to happen with HMR in a past HMR, redundancy there, but I explained what's going to happen with our schedule, but in case you missed it or you forgot, I'm going to go ahead and explain it here. Next week on December the 11th is going to be a supplemental. Whoa! Supplementals, right guys? I haven't had one of those in a while. Not since October. But it's going to be a supplemental on Thomas's Christmas Wonderland on DVD. If you guys didn't see my complete home media collection video, which aired back in, August? I have that now. Donated to me graciously by my good friend, Wooden Railway Only. Dude, I will never stop being thankful for that. Thank you so much. Every time I mention that, I am going to thank you, so please get used to it. But that supplemental is airing on December the 11th, and then on December the 18th is when the final HMR for 2017 is going to air, and that's going to be on Merry Christmas Thomas. I know, right? What a weird coincidence. I honestly did not plan it like that, it just happened. Who knew we would end 2017 in the regular timeline with a Christmas release? I'm just as shocked as you are. And then, after that, HMR is going to take about a 2 to 3 week break. We won't be coming back with this show until January the 8th. That is when Rescue on the Rails is going to air. So after December 18th, again, HMR on hiatus for the rest of 2017, but rest assured, it will be back on January the 8th. Similar to what we did last year. And you now have your update on what's going to happen for the rest of 2017. So I will see you all next week for Thomas's Christmas Wonderland on DVD, and I'll see you all again in 2 weeks for Merry Christmas Thomas. Thank you all for watching, and as always, good night, everybody.
Alrighty, everyone, here's your close... That's not what it is. That's not what it is.